It's like I felt like they didn't. So
Every single day,
know about that road, and I was living in a temporary accommodation.
something great. That's my way.
I learned so much.
Every single
Hey, my name is Rocquel, and I'm the CEO and founder of Hairstylist Mastermind. Now, I am so happy that you have landed on my page here on YouTube, and I just want to like fill y'all in with the good about moi. Yeah. So here's the thing. I am a hairstylist, have been for over 10 years, decided that I would open up this community for hairstylists to be able to come into and get support in regard to their business, because when I was a hairstylist back in the days, I struggled and I looked for mentors and I looked for coaches and I looked for people all the time to try and help me grow my business, and I struggled. Even though they were giving me the right tips, it's like I felt like they didn't understand or couldn't resonate with what I was saying. So I decided to create that community. Right now, it hasn't always been easy for me. My life has kind of been up, down, all around and all these things, but I'm so grateful that God has placed in my heart this business, because every day that I speak to someone or I message someone or someone messages me, I see that what he placed on my heart is helping hairstylists, is helping women personally and from their business. I'm getting a bunch of notifications all over the place. So that is why I bring this business forward. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, and how my journey has been. So back in when was it? It was back in like maybe it was January. Sorry. Sorry, I just like lost it for a minute. January, the 1st of January, when was it? 1st of January, I believe it was about 20, my daughter's born 2012, so she would have been about 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. About 2015. I was living in Hounslow in a temporary accommodation. It was disgusting, like literally it was on a crackhead road. Like that road is the road where everybody gets nicked, everybody gets sent to jail. Pownell Gardens. If you know about that road, you know about that road. And I was living in a temporary accommodation there, and in that temporary accommodation I was in a little studio flat. So I had like a little bathroom and and I had a little kitchen area, and I had the room, but it was all just one room. And at that time I was working for William Hill, and during that time I started wanting to get to know myself, wanting to get to know like, who is Rocquel? Because I was going through the worst thing I think any mother can go through, and that was I was going through court with my ex-partner. So prior to me getting the temporary accommodation, I was in a refuge, a woman's refuge, and I had to go in there because I was in an abusive relationship and I lost my home, I lost so much, and I had to start from scratch. So me and my daughter was living in this refuge, and literally it was hard. It was really hard, and we were living in this refuge, and we were basically not allowed to have any contact with her dad, not allowed to speak to him, not allowed to make any form of contact with him. So the workers at the refuge was basically like, you know, you have to go to court, you have to get a prohibited steps, you have to stop him from being able to come near you and your daughter. And I'm telling you, they made me think that this decision was the best decision and that they were going to be there to support me and all this stuff. Honey child, it did not go like that. So they helped me get into court. I got into court, and they filed the prohibited steps, and what a prohibited step is basically, it's something to stop the person from taking your child away from you. Now, why I had to have that was because my ex-partner kept accusing me of running off with my child, and he was forgetting that he was beating me, he was doing so much to me, so I was running away from him constantly because I just didn't want my daughter to see that. Yeah. So they put that in place, and then they decided to put in place a non-molestation order. So that would mean that he couldn't come near me, he couldn't do anything to me and all that. And I'm telling you, those two things made me feel safe for a while. But once they were removed, the fear came back. The fear of dying, the fear of him getting me, the fear of him beating me up, it just came back. It didn't go. So I went through court, and whilst I was going through court, I was fighting my battle. I was doing my best. I was standing up for myself. I was going to work. I was paying for lawyers. I was doing the most, right? And they let this man sit in court and testify. Well, I call it testify. Basically speak against me. He didn't have no lawyer. He was on his own. And I was there, big, paying money to a lawyer to support me, who in the end couldn't support me because I was so weak that I gave in to this situation. So I basically was going to court, telling them why I didn't want him to see my daughter, telling him why, you know, telling the judge why I didn't want to be around this person, and why I needed this non-molestation order to stay, and why I needed this prohibited steps to be in place. And sorry I'm taking so long to say it, but it's just like right? So yeah, they have me saying that he's saying his reasons, you know. He's like, yeah, so basically she's a drug smuggler, her mom is this and that, she's a bad mom, she's a this, she's a that, and all these things has been the things that he's been saying since we were together, and they were tearing me apart. So hearing him say it in public, it was just like it was just like killing me, like ripping me apart, and I just had to sit there and be like, you good, God with you, girl, God with you, girl, you know, they ain't taking your baby, they ain't taking your baby. So he put in for an order that was to basically be able to take the child because she's not safe at home. So while the judge was analyzing this, if it was accurate what he was saying and accurate what I was saying, they said that we could go to a contact center so that he could get to see her within that time. So they arranged the contact center. I'm missing out some parts, but they arranged the contact center, and he was able to see her through the contact center. Now, this is where the breakdown came. While he was seeing my daughter at the contact center, my daughter, I don't know if my daughter really said it or if they said that she said it, but they were basically saying that my daughter was saying that I beat her, that she has to hide underneath the bed from me, that she's scared of me, you know, like some really horrible things. And I would get the report every week. And I would read this report and I would just be like, why would she say that? Or why would he say that? And it was just messing with my head. And I was just really starting to feel like, you know what? I'm not a good mum. I'm really not a good mum. If this child can go and say these things about me, I must not be a good mum. And I remember one day I said to her that she had to eat. And she told me that, you know, she told me that basically you can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna get my daddy to beat you. And I remember calling my sister and I was like, sis, like, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, this man told me that he was gonna kick out my belly. He didn't want this child. He denied her, like all this stuff. And all I did was bring this child into this earth and do my best to try and bring her up. And I'm getting done shady like this. And I remember I went to church and the pastor said, like, I can see you running and running and running and running and running and running, and they're coming after you with knives. And you're just running, but you've got this baby in your hand and you just can't get away. And he was like, you threw the baby up into the tree, like into a nest, he would have said. You threw the baby into a nest. And you came back down and you went after them, dagger, 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 dagger. And after that, I was like, what does that mean? Like, what you said to me, okay, I kind of get it. It's what I'm going through. Like, literally, because I have my daughter, it's like I have to have this person in my life tormenting me, basically dealing with me anyhow he wants to deal with me, because he's told me basically that if I have a child for him, it's not just so. It not just go so, you know. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And he was saying to me, like, is there no one you can give her to? Could you give her to your mom, or could you give it to someone just like so that you can just get this thing sorted out? And I was like, well, not really, because my mom's tied up in all of this mess too, and he's always in contact with my mom. And at that time, my mom was just trying to be such a good, like, good Samaritan, and she was basically like, just give me the baby, I mean, make him see the baby and whatever. And she didn't know that at that time it was just like all of that was just transferring poison. And so she was going away and just keep hearing these things about her mom constantly, about her mom's this, her mom's that. And then she would just come home with this fire, you know. And he said to me, Rocquel, you're going to have to give her away. You're going to have to give her away. And I hated that man for that. I hated him for telling me that I had to give my baby away. I was like, not even crackheads kids have to be given, like crackhead kids, like these people are acting like I left my child in a flipping phone box wrapped in a towel when she was born. Like, all I did was take my child away from an abusive relationship and run away to Jamaica with her. That's all I did. That's all I did. And now I'm getting penalized for that because I didn't want my ass to get beat no more, right? And he says, you have to give up the child. I didn't go back to that church. I didn't go back to that church. But it kept playing in my mind, playing in my mind, playing in my mind, playing in my mind, playing in my mind. And as the reports kept coming in and her behavior kept acting up, and I just felt like this refuge ain't helping me. And they were, at that time, I had to move out and everything because they have a certain amount of time that you can stay in the refuge and then you have to leave. And I was like, I can't breathe. I actually can't breathe no more. Like, I actually just don't like me. I don't like me because I don't like me because of the decisions I made. You know what I mean? And I made the decision and I called my sister and I said to her, I'm going to give her up. I'm going to give her to him. I'm going to give him full custody. And I did it. And I did it because I thought that's what he generally wanted, because he said he wanted full custody of his kid and he didn't want his kid around no yardy gal, no dash out gal, or whatever he calls me, yeah. And I wrote the letter and I said, I'm giving him full custody. And it must have been, it still is hard today. I don't suffer from the guilt with it no more, but it was the biggest stab in my heart to like make that decision to give away my one baby, you know what I mean? My one baby to someone who didn't even want her in the beginning. Yeah. So anyway, I done it. I stood up in court. I was like, yeah, he can have full custody On the day of court, he was like, "No, Your Honor, I don't. No, she can still see her mum. Rare. This, that, da, 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 da." I was like, but you've been up in here going around the whole world telling everybody about how, yeah, I'm taking my youth. Rare. This, that, da, 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 da. Now I've given you what you want. You got a new story. Anyway, because I'm a woman who wants to stay and stick to her word, I did it. I gave her away. And when it was time for him to get her, he literally didn't want to come and get her. So I went and dropped her at his sister on the doorstep. I was like, your brother saying want full custody? See it here. Yeah? Because it isn't easy raising a child, minding a child, feeding a child, doing all. Since you want to be a mama lashy, take her. Because at this time now, right? I'm like on fire. I'm angry. I'm like, I don't want her. I don't want you. I don't want this. I don't want anything. Just, everybody just leave me be. Because I'm a bad mum. You know, I'm a bad mum. So please keep it moving. And I just started to work. I started booking clients. I started taking more hours at work. Like, I just started to just work. Just so I didn't have no time alone. So that I didn't have no time to think. Because if I had time to think, it's like, even the place that I was at, what I'm going to tell you about where I was at in the crack house, I didn't take out no pictures of her. I just didn't want nothing of her near me. I just didn't want to see her because that was hard. So I was in this studio flat, and the spirit of suicide came on me and said, kill yourself. And where I lived at the time, it was like, there would be like a road like this and a road like this, right? Very busy road, and the cars come down really, really fast. And it was the 1st of January, I never forget, because I text William Hill and I said, I'm not coming back. I'm not fucking coming back. Don't fucking message me. Don't tell me to come on your fucking shift. I was in my feelings. And I was looking out the window and I was just like, yeah, it's time. Just go. Just walk right into them. Just walk right into the traffic. Just walk right into it. Just let them shut you off. And I couldn't do it. And I made a call to 111 and I said, you know, I want to kill myself. Yeah, I want to kill myself. I'm ready. I want to kill myself. And they was asking me all these questions. And they were saying to me, what are you going to do? And this, that. And I said, I'm going to go and walk out in front of the car. And I was just, it was very self-pity. Like, I was just like, yeah, I'm going out there. I'm going to walk in front of the car and I'm going to do this to myself and I'm going to do that to myself. And it was like my cry for help. And the woman said to me, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to keep calling you back just to check on you, how you are. And I was like, okay, cool. And they called me back because they were trying to get my doctors to be able to come out and see me. And I hadn't changed my doctors yet because I just moved into this place, out of the refuge. And they said to me, your doctor can't come and see you because you're not in their area anymore. And I said, really? So who's gonna actually come and fucking help me then? Who's gonna come and help me? I just told you I'm gonna kill myself. Who's gonna come and help me then? I hanged up the phone and I looked myself in the mirror and I said, fuck this. I mean, I say it now and I laugh, but remember I told you I looked in the mirror and I was like, fuck this. You looking for someone to come save you from your decisions? You better get your ish together. Girl, I got the Bible and I started reading Matthew and I started getting my ish together. I was just like, It ain't gonna be easy, Rax, but come. Boom. I started waking up. I started showering. started combing my hair. I started listening to affirmations. I found people like, because at that time I was listening to Chanel Cooper Sykes back before I left the job. So I had her in my head, and I had courses, and I started to take the courses then. And I took the courses, and I took her self-love mastery. I took mindset makeover. I took so much things to renew me and renew my spirit, because I was torn. I was so torn, like words can't describe torn. And I started listening to Iyanla Vanzant, and Iyanla Vanzant, I don't know if you know about her, but she's really big on forgiveness. And I started listening to her, and she's saying to forgive and write forgiveness letters and stuff like that. I started the journey. And that is when it laid inside of me that I wanted to be some coach or mentor to help people. Because at that time, I wanted to help people who was in domestic violence and was blind to it, right? And then I started researching and finding the ways to get to it and do this and do that to get the right links. And then I found a mentor here in the UK, and I was really happy. And I went with her. I done her program. I jumped on board, and then I became a hairstylist. And when I became a hairstylist, I got to understand the business, and she kept pushing me. She kept saying, Rocquel, why don't you become a business coach? Why don't you become a business coach? And I was just like, I know how to run a business, but like, what am I going to teach anybody? I was like, She's like, but you're so good. I wasn't paying it any mind. I just was like, I want to support you. Let me support you. I'm fine with being behind the scenes. I'm fine with making you look pretty. I'm fine. I don't want it. And to be honest with you, I didn't ever want to be a celebrity hairstylist, because I consider myself a celebrity myself. I used to be signed to Sony, and I was a reggaeton artist and a singer, and I won awards for music and stuff like that. And I remember how much of a bitch I was when I was an artist. So I didn't want to be no one's like skibby, because if you are a hairstylist to artists, you know what it's like. It's not what it makes out to be. They are hard work, right? My hair looks like it's getting messy. So yeah, I became her hairstylist. She taught me a lot, and she helped me heal. And then it was time for me to start doing my thing and start mapping out how I wanted to help women and how I wanted to get out there and whatsoever. And it's taken me a while, because I've dibbled and dabbled back in the depression. I've dibbled and dabbled back in even a relationship again with the guy. And yeah, this is the kind of bad decisions that happen. But I had to wake up. So I've woken up now. And on the other end of everything, Hairstylist Mastermind was birthed this year, 2019, in July, in the 6-week holidays. And I birthed it broke. But I'm telling you, it's been amazing. It's been amazing so far. And I've got so much planned for it. And yeah, like, I got a lot to do. Like, God's got me here, and I'm a vessel that needs to be used, and he ain't got time for me to sit down in no dark, honey child, and cry and be sad about ish that done happened in the past. So now I'm on my journey to help as many women as I can, and hopefully help take them out of, if they've ever been in my situation, get them out of that. And just help them get their personal growth and their business growth and level up, because this word level up gets used a lot, but I'm talking about really level up spiritually, you know, because I believe that we are a spirit which lives in a body, and it has a soul, and our soul has a mind, our emotions and our wills. And if we don't know how to channel those three things within our souls, we won't be operating with our spirit. We'll be operating as our soul. And because our soul is controlled by our mind, will and emotions, our emotions tell us to do a lot of things that we don't need to do. So yeah, I can't really give you no tips right now about business after we just dropped a bomb like that. But I just thought maybe I should let you guys know about me and why I'm so motivated to make this business work and why I want to keep pushing and I'm not going to stop until I help the women that I need to help. So, thank you for tuning in. This is Rocquel Strong. I upgraded my name, by the way. My name was Rocquel Salmon, and I changed it to Rocquel Strong because guess what? I'm a survivor. I make ish happen, and I got plenty more stories to tell y'all, honey bun. So stay tuned. Love you. Remember to like and subscribe. Tell your friends as well. Tell other hairstylists. Tell women. Tell people. Tell kings, because I got a lot of kings following me now. So remember to share, like, and subscribe. And yeah, I'm gone now. That was deep.